Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning and welcome back to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So happy and excited to have this wonderful opportunity to come to you today, lead you in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. Hey, this is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural, normal, and necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. That grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. And I'm so grateful that you're here with us on today as we lead you in this very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. Come on in this room as we dare to prepare to dive into our devotion on today. Today, my brothers and sisters, this day 135, we're going to talk about grief and identity. Who am I now without them? Who am I now without them? Grief and identity. I don't know if you went through an identity crisis as you went through your loss, change, and transition. I don't know if you had to go through a phase, or if you are going through a phase, or you're trying to figure out, who am I now without them? Understand this. We talk about grief, dealing with loss, change, and transition. This is just not the loss of a loved one, y'all. This is a loss of anything. There are so many people that their identity becomes attached to not only the person, but it could be a project, it could be a profession. And if that profession is gone, the question becomes, who am I without them? Right? Whether it's I talk to athletes all the time, high school, college. I've gotten opportunities to talk to professional athletes on an ongoing basis. And one thing that I always talk about is the fifth quarter, right? Typically, any sport in football, basketball, you got 4 quarters to play. And I metaphorically talk about the fifth quarter, right? Because the fifth quarter is when the game stops, when you can no longer play, right? When you walk away from it, right? Now the question becomes, who are you outside of this profession? Who are you, right? Outside of this sport? Because for so long, we take on the identity of what we do, right? That we don't know who we are apart from it. That works for professions and that works for people. We take on the identity of what we do. So for 50 years, you was a wife. For 50 years, you was a husband. You provided all this stuff. And now that your wife is transitioned or your husband transitioned, right? Who am I? What my identity, right? For 25, 30 years, for 10 years, you was a mother, you were a father. And now that the child has transitioned, everything you was doing was to provide, to work, to do this, to take them there, to do that. So it's like, so now that you no longer have that role to fulfill, right? The question becomes, wait a minute, who am I outside of the role that I was playing? Let's get into it. Let's talk about it on today, y'all. I'm excited to do so. For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things he planned for us long ago. Grief doesn't just change your life, it changes your identity. You lose a spouse, you're no longer a wife or a husband. You lose a parent, suddenly you're someone's child without the parent. You lose a child, a sibling, a best friend, and everything you thought you were, it feels shaken. You may find yourself asking, who am I now without them? How many of y'all have experienced that? How many of y'all have gone through that? How many of y'all have dealt with that at one point in time or another? Who am I now without them? Let me help you, y'all. Their absence creates a silence that echoes inside of you. It feels like part of you went with them, and in a way it did, right? I think this is what people mean when they say, man, what Mariah Carey say, when you left, I lost a part of me. She was talking about breaking up. She wasn't talking about dying, but when you left, I lost a part of me. You ever felt like when they died, a part of you died, right? And in a way it did, because the role you fulfilled, the part you played, the things you did, who you were to them, right? When they transition, you feel like a part of you transition. The person you were when they were alive is not the person you are now. That's not betrayal. That's grief transforming you. But here's the truth. Even in the midst of loss, your identity is not lost. Your identity is being redefined. Even in the midst of loss, your identity is not lost. Your identity is being redefined. This is one of those steps that I got inside my grief model. It's about you move forward, and then moving forward. Part of that moving forward is redefining who am I. Is redefining what does my next step look like? Is redefining who you are. It's about redefining and reimagining and repositioning yourself and actually going through that process, right? This is why grief is so important, y'all. Y'all just keep rocking with me and God. I'm telling you, we going places, right? This is why it's so important, because the alternative is for us to suppress and not express. The alternative is for us not to grieve, feel, but not to mourn, to reveal. So we just continue to go through life, right? With all of this grief on the inside of us. We don't have these conversations. We don't understand the power and the importance of dealing with this loss of identity, of sitting in it, wrestling with it, then redefining, reimagining who we are, even though we no longer have this role to play, right? This is so important. I'm going to save y'all years. I'm going to save y'all years. I'm going to save y'all years of wasted time, right? Because some of this stuff, I'm like, man, I wish I would have known this back then. Some of this stuff, man, I wish I would have knew that then. And these last 4 years, I wouldn't have been walking around here. No, I could have did that, 2, 3, 4 years ago, right? It's important to know and understand this. Yes, you feel like a part of you has died. Maybe you haven't had anybody to articulate it in that fashion that you do have to, your identity. Maybe you've been wrestling with that. Maybe you couldn't put your finger on what it was. I do got to redefine myself. I know in moving forward, I can reimagine. I can redefine. I can reevaluate. Absolutely, right? It's all important, y'all. That even in the midst of loss, your identity is not lost. It's being redefined, not erased, but reshaped. That God is still holding your story. Though this chapter is painful, it's not the final one. Y'all, your identity is not being erased, it's being reshaped. God is reshaping you. He's reshaped. It's just like, look, it's no different than if you change professions. It's no different, even if you retire, right? It's no different that I did this for 30, 40 years. I'm retiring from this. I'm closing a chapter on this, but I'm opening the book on this, right? I'm now going into this over here, which is so very important. God is still holding your story. And though this chapter is painful, it's not the final one. You are still here, still called, still capable of healing, growing, and becoming. That you are not only who you were with them, but you are who God is helping you become through this loss. Your identity is just being reshaped, right? That you are not only who you were with them, right? But you are who God is helping you to become through this loss. Here's your point of application. Take a moment today to reflect on who you are becoming. Who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? Write down words or phrases that describe the strengths, the values, the lessons grief is shaping in you. Ask God to help you embrace your evolving identity, not as a replacement, but as a resilient continuation of the love you still carry. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 135 We celebrating the fact that you are still alive. Grief and identity. Who am I now without them? I hope and pray in some special way this lesson was a blessing to each and every one of you as we continue to navigate through our season of grief. Natasha, what's going on, Natasha? She says, big time. Still trying to figure out who Natasha is. No longer Mark's wife or even an active mother. Yes, you are evolving, right? That we evolve. These are the roles that I play. I was known as Mark's wife, right? I was an active mother. Now that's transition. Both have transitioned, right? And so I mourn, right? And I move forward, right? I evolve. I'm redefining this next chapter of my life, right? Rediscovering my strengths, my values. What did it say? I'm rediscovering my strengths, my values. I gotta get the chat off of there. I'm right down. That's why the point of application is so important, right? Reflect on who are you becoming. Write down words, phrases that describe the strengths, the values, and lessons grief is shaping in you. What are the words? What are the phrases that describe the strengths, the values, lessons grief is shaping in you? Ask God to help you embrace your evolving identity. God, help me to embrace this evolving identity, right? Help me to embrace it. Help me to embrace it. It's not a replacement, right? And I think that's important to know and understand. I'm embracing this not as a replacement, because that feels like, nah, this is still here you are, still who you are, you're evolving. As a resilient continuation of the love you still carry. This is just a continuation. This is Natasha 2.0, right? Think about it. We do it every year. Our phones get upgrades every single year. Every single year, sometimes a couple times out the year, our phones get upgraded, right? So it's not a replacement model. This is an upgraded version based off of the situations, the circumstances, things that have changed, things that have evolved, things that are different. This is an upgraded version of who I am, right? It's a new chapter, resilient evolution. It all plays a part. I am in AOW, adult orphan widowed. Oh, AOW. You're so loved and you're so surrounded, right? You're so loved and you're so surrounded. And I don't know. I don't know if God cultivating something within you to, I don't know. I don't know if that's a platform for you to focus on that AOW, right? That because this is the thing, Tasha. If you've coined this phrase and you saying this is what I am, I'm an adult orphan widow. Guess what? That means there are thousands others out there. And perhaps maybe God is giving you a voice to the voiceless, right? Maybe there's an opportunity. This is the gap. That's when you find the gap. There's an opportunity to bring awareness and education and action to other AOWs, right? Adult orphaned widows. My husband is no longer here. My children are grown up. You know, I'm an adult orphan widow, right? Maybe I don't know. Perhaps I don't know. Maybe because one, you are one of thousands, right? And maybe I don't know. Perhaps. Think about it. Pray about it. In this time of sit back, I've been thinking, what the chapter? Yes, what's the chapter? What's the chapter? I love this analogy. Man, God is so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You're on it. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, like minded, right? I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about Chriselle Sam, right? Because Malcolm is now in school and Lamarla Jr. Grown, and so like what we got similarities. How do we navigate through this stuff, right? What are the things you experience? What are the things I experience? How do we navigate through this stuff? I think you're on to something there. I think you're on to something there. I think God is up to something. Perfect. Everyone needs a voice. Yes. Yeah, I think you on to something. Let me know if I can help. Let me know what I can do. Let me know if we need to do a live. And I could bring you on as a guest, right? Let me know if we need to do a live and bring you on. That's powerful. Well, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I hope and pray y'all have been blessed on today. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna post the words, the devotion on social media. Make sure y'all go and share. If it's a blessing to you, it's gonna be a blessing to somebody else. You can also share the link too. So the Facebook link or the YouTube link. Yeah, yep. We need to talk. Yeah, man, you on to something. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a thriving Thursday. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. Good morning.